Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. Live Q&A. Took a little break yesterday from making videos. It was Black Friday at across the world it was Black Friday. It was Black Friday at tigerfitness.com. I stayed late packing orders. I appreciate everybody who supports Tiger Fitness. We had an amazing day. Our sales were up about 25 to 30% over the previous year. And Tiger Fitness continues to grow like crazy. So I appreciate everybody's support. Good morning. And if you are in the market for any protein powder, pre-workout, stuff like that, check out Tiger Service because we're busting our ass up there to get your orders out in a day. Me and my fiance Fiona were there for 6 hours, and we were just humping and bumping trying to get your orders out. So I'm going to do a Q&A this morning. Before I get into the Q&A, some stuff. I am selling my books now through Cyber Monday, Flex Calorie Dieting and Massing Up Iron, for only $9.99. And I'm going to put a link in this video. When I am done, you can also go over to muscleandbrawn.com, BRAWN, muscleandbrawn.com, and go to the shop. Go to the shop. Oh, feeling swole this morning. Something like that. What's going on, guys? How many times per week how many times do you work each body part per week? How many times do I work right now? I've been doing an upper-lower split with my girl, so right now about 1.5 to 2. All right, what do we got here? Sorry, these questions pop up and down. How can I set up a business? Give some tips. The business tips I have for you have to do with persistence. They have to do with when you're in business, you have to have some kind of, when we talk about marketing, we talk about having a point of differentiation. Like, what separates you from the competition? You need to go in knowing what you have as a point of differentiation. That needs to be your strong part. The biggest mistake you can make as a business is trying to go wide and be everything to everybody. You need to find what you love to do, what your point of differentiation is, and focus on that with laser beam eyes. So I hope that helps. All right, what we got here? King of the Orcs says, you know where to get strongman yokes cheap? No idea. I really don't. I wish I could help you there, but I do not know. There's got to be some used stuff out there, though, so I would check eBay first. Is a rep goal system better to use than 4x6 reps for strength? Well, the 4x6, no system is better than others. But if you compare, if you're talking about the 4 to 6 rep range, that is kind of the borderline between the type of rep range that's going to recruit maximum amount of muscle fibers out of the gate, and something that you need to earn by pushing a set for as many reps as possible. So I wouldn't say it's better, but if you're going to do 4 to 6 rep sets, strength focused, I would definitely add in your assistance work with the rep goal system. So it's not better, but when you're in the 4 to 6 rep range and lower, it's really about strength training and not about taking things to close to failure. So it wouldn't be better, but I would definitely use something like the rep goal system to back up your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Back up your stuff. All right. Salman says, as an experienced person, what advice you want to give to a 21-year-old regarding the importance of college and education? The advice I would give you is that you're talking to someone who flunked out of college. Yes, I flunked out of college because I was more interested in lifting weights than I was in going to class. My advice for anybody is, you see a lot of young people who will say, I don't want a college education. A college education isn't needed to be successful in this modern world. And you know what? It's true. All the money I make off, my side little projects, muscleandbrawn.com and YouTube and my books and stuff like that, it's not a lot of money, but over the course of 10 years, I've made like $100,000 extra dollars just from AdSense revenue on my website and from book sales and from YouTube. So over 10 years, it's added about $10,000 to my income, and I'm just doing it part-time. So you can definitely do this type of stuff full-time. But when it comes to education, get your degree. Get your degree as a base. And then once you have your degree, once you have some kind of a general degree, then you can go about your life and do your stuff. And maybe when you're 40, 50 years old, you won't regret not getting that degree. It's always good to have that in your back pocket. So don't be a fool. All right. My bench is at a sticking point. All right. Here's the thing when it comes to sticking points or plateaus. Most guys think they're at a sticking point or a plateau, and then I ask them, how much did your bench go up the last 3 to 4 months, and they say like 5 pounds or 10 pounds. That's not a plateau. So first off, you need to be honest with yourself and actually analyze the numbers to see if you're actually sticking or if you're actually simply experiencing normal intermediate progression. As an intermediate, you need to understand that as a beginner, you're going to get stronger a lot more quickly. When that strength slows down, when those strength gains slow down, that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong or plateauing. That just means that it's just normal. That's just the way things work. You can't get to a 500-pound bench in 3 years. So you just have to really completely assess your progress over the course of the last 3-4 months. If you're making progress, it's not a plateau. So that's my best advice. Be real and analyze the numbers. When I'm in a calorie deficit for losing weight, am I recovering slower? Anytime you're in a position where you are eating fewer calories, you're forcing your body to try to understand what to do with these calories. Do I need to train less heavy or less frequently to prevent injury? You probably need to dial back the volume by about 20%. You probably need to understand that it's going to be more difficult to push each set to the limit. So you're going to have to be more aware of recovery. I don't generally train much differently when I'm in a calorie deficit. I will add some volume and pull back on the intensity a little bit, and that is how the weight I'm using. So if I'm normally doing like 315 by 8 to 12 on the bench press, I might drop back down to 275 and do 4 to 5 sets of 10 or something like that. So you really need to focus on sleep. You need to understand that when you're in a cut, that you're probably not going to get stronger. Some guys will, depending on if they're just a beginner or late beginner. But you just want to really focus on the goal at hand, and that is losing weight while not going and using really light weight and doing something foolish like that. So I hope that helps. Let's see. Divine says, your opinion on good exercises for upper back. When you're training upper back, you want to have a vertical pull down, a horizontal pull down, or a horizontal pull or row, and combine that with a deadlift. So obviously, when you're looking at these exercises, you want them to be the most impactful. You want to use the biggest bang for your buck. So the biggest bang for your buck in the deadlift is a floor deadlift or 3 to 5 inch pull. The biggest bang for your buck with the horizontal row is going to be dumbbell or barbell rows. I would use them both and alternate. The biggest bang for your buck in the vertical pull is going to be the pull-up or lat pull-down or many lat pull-down variations or even inverted rows. So that's your base for back training. Let's see. Rod says, love your channel. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I pretty much just found it a couple weeks ago. No BS approach. Thank you. I try to give you guys the best advice I can. I try not to be one of these guys that pretends he knows everything. I will give you the best advice I have at the time, and I'll change my opinion if I feel it's necessary. I've been doing this stuff for 32 years. I've been answering questions forever. I'm an industry writer. You can check out all my articles at tigerfitness.com. I've written tons of articles on everything and just tons and tons of free workouts. And just a reminder, this weekend my books, Massive Iron and Flex Calorie Dieting, are only $9.99 at muscleandbrawn.com, BRAWN, or you can find the links below. All right. Advice for guys with narrow shoulders. I'm not being facetious here, I'm being true. If you have a narrow anything, you need to make it wider with a lot of work. You're going to have to attack your shoulders like normal guys attack their chest, or like I attack leg day. I want you to do two exercises for your shoulders. This is a shoulder workout I use, and you can do this in the course of one day, or you can spread it out over 2 or 3 training days. I want you to do some form of a barbell press behind the neck or in front. I want you to do some form of a dumbbell press. So I would start with a standing or seated barbell press, and then I would do something like an alternating press with dumbbells, where you're doing one arm and then the other arm. If you do those standing, you're going to get some really good core activation as well. You can also do the Arnold press, which I like to do after a heavy set of barbell presses. So do about 3 sets of both of those, and back those up with at least 3 to 4 more sets of another shoulder exercise. I like to do cable upright rows. I like to do bulldozer laterals, and the superset of those with dumbbell upright rows. You can check out the bulldozer lateral on my channel. But that's what I would do. I would attack your shoulders with at least 2 big exercises like that, and I would go crazy for progressive overload and get your triceps stronger, because that'll help. Let's see, Rod, my question is simple as I can get. I'm 380 pounds and obese. I'm killing myself. Finally hit this point where I'm disgusted. Yeah, you are killing yourself, and that's reality, because I've been there myself. And you need to understand at 380 pounds, once you reach the age of 50, the mortality statistics become very, very grim. So once you are that heavy, you need to understand you're not going to live much longer than 50 years old. You'll be lucky to hit 60. You don't see a lot of 60-year-old men out there that weigh 380 pounds, and you need to be aware of that as you walk around planet Earth, that you are killing yourself. And not only that, your quality of living is going to dramatically decrease. Your sex life, your hormones, your sleep, all that kind of good stuff. And you might be alive, but you're not going to be living. And the best way to attack things is with a new lifestyle, not just a diet or weight training. So I wish you good luck, my friend, and don't live like that. Don't live with that bondage. Good morning, Joel. What's going on? What's going on, La Ken? No questions, just all good. How do you manage insecurities? That's a very good question. Insecurity is kind of a word we toss around like it's abnormal, but we're all insecure. That's the reality. We all have insecurities. Insecurity can be used as a positive thing as we take inventory of ourselves and our life and our abilities and our bodies and stuff like that. But we can't allow insecurities to define us. What we need to do is make the conscious decision when we wake up each day that we are going to do what the hell we want to do. We are going to, when I started playing guitar this year, I didn't let anybody determine what I would do or what direction I would take it. I do not let anybody determine that. I wake up every day, and even if I'm insecure, I don't hide in this little apartment and just let the world control me. So you have to understand that insecurity can be okay, and that it can be a battle, but you need to do what you want to do on any given day and never make an excuse for doing what you want to do and living how you want to live. If you feel like a big fat blob and you're insecure about your belly, and you're like, man, but I really want to play guitar, I really want to get out there in front of people, but I'm a fat slob, do it anyway. Do it. Go do it. Just be a good human being, and don't let these insecurities cripple you. That's my best advice. So I hope that helps. Let's see. WeBad89 says, is it okay to switch strength and hypertrophy days for upper lower split? For example, the first day. Yeah, I mean that's one of the things I advocate for intermediate lifters. Is switching between, one option you have is switching between heavier weeks and more volume weeks. So you could do like a 3x5 or a 5x3 on the big exercises like squats, bench, deadlift one week, and then the next week do more volume, or like the rep goal system. So that is a good way to cycle intensity. And as an intermediate lifter, a lot of us just can't handle the pounding of heavy weight all the time. So that's a really good combination for an intermediate. Let me grab some coffee here. Fiona's in the bedroom talking to herself, I think. Morning, David. Morning. Unlock the power. Is it warm down there in Ohio? No, hey Joel, it's not warm at all. It's been under 30 for like a long time. At least a couple weeks. We haven't gotten any snow though. Hey, the lovely Fiona, ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Fiona. Show them your biceps.
Good morning. Oh, it's coming.
She is building a nice bicep though. She was packing your orders at Tiger Fitness.
I was.
Yeah,
we're going to the footy today for the first time.
Yeah, we're going to see a football game. We're going to see the Cincinnati Bearcats college football game. We got free tickets, don't judge. Let's see. If I missed your question, please post it up again. John says, if I want to build my biceps and triceps, will their development be restricted to my current build? The shape, you can't change like insertion points and the overall look. Like my biceps, when I let them hang at my side, they tend to look really long and impressive. But then when I bring them up here, they look like crap. There's no peak. They just look like big old fat potatoes. So you can change the size, but the shape, it's like a balloon. Whatever shape that balloon is, if it's warped, it's just going to end up being expanded. So you can't really change the shape. You can just enhance it. I hope that helps. All right. How do you feel? Solomon says, how do you feel when cookie cutter channels which don't provide any valuable information have more subscribers? Here's how I feel, and this is honest. This is the honest truth. There's room in this industry for a lot of people to be successful, and a lot of people gain subscriber counts for various reasons, because they have six-pack abs or because they're very entertaining. I don't worry about that, because as an adult, I know what my mission is. And my mission is to be the best person I can be, to provide the information I'm passionate about, and to help you guys. I don't live for subscriber counts. Numbers are for people who are trying to accrue numbers. I'm trying to help people change lives. That is my goal. That is what I do as a writer every day in the fitness industry. I care about people. I train with people. You meet me in person, you understand what I'm about. I'm a kind human being. I will do anything for anyone at any time. And this isn't about numbers for me. This isn't about numbers. If I wanted to just be about numbers, I'd do all the circus act stuff. So I don't care about numbers. The question should be, for these other guys, why do you have so many subscribers and such shitty information? That's the question that really, there's plenty of room in this world for popularity. Some people like to watch channels because they're entertaining, or because they like the person, or whatever, and that's all good. But I'm just a 50-year-old man that loves to lift, and I love to balance life, and I'm just glad somebody follows me on this YouTube. So that's really it. Morning, Fit Angie. How you doing? How you doing? Morning, DeLon. How's it going? David Thomas says, I'm in Niles, Ohio, and I'm in the garage. It's not bad. Yeah, if you can hide in the garage, you're probably doing pretty good. I'm up here in Lebanon, Ohio. Let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing. Weapon skilling. Skill up my crafting a little bit. Yeah, let's not do that. That dude's saying he's making like $4,000 a month on YouTube, and he has like 60% more of the views than I have. There's no way that man is making what he claims he is on YouTube. He is so full of shit, and everything. Anything that comes out of his mouth, Jason Blaha, is full of shit. David says, everyone tells me just to eat more, but I've only gained a pound a year. Well, then you need to eat more, David. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what your weight is, but if you're only gaining a pound a year and you're trying to build muscle, you're not getting it done. Eating, if you're skinny, and I was skinny, I went into college, 158 pounds, 156 pounds. You have to treat that if you have a hard time gaining weight, you have to treat that the same way you treat progressive overload. You need to do what it takes to get the results you want. So that's as simple as it gets. Your opinion on Juji Mufu. I think he gave the big hairy ugly dude a shout out once. And I think he occasionally watches his channel. So I don't watch his channel closely. I don't have a lot of time to watch channels. I'm good friends with Alan Roberts from Every Damn Day Fitness and Elgin from Infinite Elgin Intensity. Those are my posse. Those are my boys. Those are the guys that I watch and I care about more than anything else. And the Cocky Jerk I watch. Structured Fitness is a new guy that's coming up. A really good guy. He's funny as heck. I would check those two guys out, but those are really the only guys that I have time for in this industry. All the other guys are cool and everything. I just don't have time for them. See, Rod DeGroen doing a 5x5 3 times a week, taking cardio 2 times a week, eating 1,600 calories a day. Whoa, 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 what? 1,600 calories a day. Don't starve yourself. Don't starve yourself. You are a big guy and you got overweight from making bad choices. Don't try to rush that weight off by starving yourself. Don't worry about the program. You need to worry about consistency, not overkilling it. If you're doing just a 5x5 3 times a week, that's okay. But you need to understand that you probably need to... eventually that's going to become punishing on your joints because you're doing squats 3 times a week as you get stronger, or bench 3 times a week, or whatever. 1,600 calories a day, though, that's way too low. That's way too low. Don't focus on the weight. Focus on the health and longevity. You want to be in a calorie deficit, but you do not want to starve yourself. You want to have enough good, clean, whole foods that you don't go crazy and wake up one day and say, I'm starving myself, and all of a sudden you're going to eat everything. Don't punish yourself during a diet. A slight deficit applied over time. Turn your habits and lifestyle around, but don't do starvation. A guy that is 380 pounds, you can probably eat 2,600 calories and still lose weight. I'm guessing you can if you eat 80 and 90% clean foods. I would not go any lower than 2,200 calories. Probably I would start with 2,400 and see how much weight you're losing per week. But do not starve yourself, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Focus on health and longevity. That's right. Thank you, Angie. It's not about the subscribers. It's about the information. It's about helping people. If anything you're doing in life, whatever your business or profession is, if it's about money and numbers, you got it backwards. When you chase your passions, when you chase the things you love in life, that's when the money and the other stuff comes. I don't get up every day and I say I'm going to chase money like some of these YouTube channels do, and we're not going to name names. But I don't chase subscribers and money. I have a good secondary income from all the extra stuff I do, but that's just because I like doing it. I like doing it. I put so much time into it. Money comes with passion. How do you modify rows to target upper back over lats? Your upper back is your lats. Your upper back is comprised of your lats and your rhomboids and all that. So I'm not really sure what you're saying, but don't worry about targeting stuff when you're doing compound movements. Compound movements hit multiple muscle groups because they are compound movements. Don't try to turn a compound movement into an isolation movement. That's ridiculous stuff, and that's stuff I do not like. The only thing you want to focus on during any back exercise is, instead of pulling, driving your elbow and shoulder back. You'll get a good contraction, but don't worry about targeting stuff. Do a compound movement like it's meant to be done and get crazy strong on it. That's all you need to do. When you're doing an isolation exercise, just concentrate on good form and driving that elbow back. That's it. All right. Morning, Australia. Hey, baby. She's in the bathroom. You got Fit Angie's from Australia. I'm not sure if you follow her on Instagram. She's been a follower of mine. I've been a follower of hers for a long time. So Fit Angie is in Melbourne.
Oh,
how far are you from Melbourne?
Oh, I'm in Newcastle.
How far is that from Melbourne?
That's 3 hours north from Sydney.
Oh.
So that's like a whole day trip.
Yeah, I'll have you connect with her on Instagram when we're done. All right.
No, on Saturday she's in Melbourne.
Matt Mardigan says the best way to get proper protein while dealing with high cholesterol. If we're talking about bad cholesterol, eating too much protein generally isn't going to affect your cholesterol levels. What typically affects your cholesterol levels, bad cholesterol levels, is a bad diet. A lot of crappy processed flour and sugar and box foods and processed foods and excess amount of chemicals. So when it comes to dealing with high levels of bad cholesterol, you want to make sure you clean up your diet. You don't want to worry about protein. Proteins and vegetables and fruits and good whole foods are not the issue when it comes to that. You want to attack it with diet. You want to make sure you're doing some cardio, and you want to make sure that you're taking a good look at your diet, limiting flour and sugar and processed food and canned food and boxed food and all that. Because look, you can say, well, the chemical in this isn't that bad, or the chemical in that, or the additive in this isn't that bad. But when you start looking at all the additives and preservatives and all the crap you're putting in your body as a whole, over the course of a week, you just want to minimize that stuff because your body's under stress right now. So you want to give your body a break. So don't worry about protein. If you have high bad cholesterol, worry about eating more whole foods. If you're ever in the Yellow Springs area, will do. I would love to get back out west. Do you believe in the fast, slow twitch of training, 80% ORM? What I believe in is we can overthink things, but it is a good idea for many reasons to attack a muscle group with multiple rep ranges. When you train in about the 85% range, your body is recruiting a maximum amount of muscle fibers out of the gate. When you're doing more volume and under that range, it's a good idea to push sets for as many reps as possible. You got to understand, if you do too many heavy compound movements, you're really overkilling movement patterns, and that can be bad on your joints, potentially bad on your joints when you're getting very, very strong, doing that over and over and over again. So I like to attack with a compound, come in with a volume on a more moderate compound or even a machine, and then attack with a lot of pump work as an isolation to finish off a muscle group. So I would look at it that way and not overthink it beyond that. I hope that is some help. Park McLean says, long-time watcher, hello, South Carolina. I used to live in South Carolina, and I hiked just about every mile in South Carolina, I swear, in Jesus' name I did. Is it possible to build big legs with body weight exercises only? It is possible to do anything as long as you're wise about it. There are a lot of debates out there where people will say you can't do this, you have to do that. But if you only have body weight exercises, you have lunges and you have jump squats and you have high box step-ups, and you can do some crazy work. Like you could do 50 rep sets of high box, really high box step-ups, supersetted with body weight lunges, and then round it out with jump squats. That will definitely help, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be as effective, obviously, if you are attacking these muscle groups with more tools. But you can definitely do a lot with that type of work. And let's see, if I missed your questions, please post them up again. I'm going to be on for a little bit longer. We've been on for 28 minutes right now. What was your most eye-opening event in your life? The most eye-opening event in my life was when the day I was 346 pounds, I couldn't get up out of a Pizza Hut without cramping because of my fatty liver disease. And I'm going to be a real talk here. I knew it was time to get a divorce because I was in an unhealthy relationship with somebody that wasn't putting in the work to build the relationship. So the most eye-opening day of my life is the day I said I want a divorce, because I started to take care of myself again. You can be in bad relationships And you can be in dysfunctional relationships where we lose ourselves and who we are, where we're in relationships with people where we're not being encouraged to grow and be the best we can. And the second I did that, I was able to start taking care of myself again. And it was eye-opening because I realized that I wasn't taking care of myself in that relationship, and it forced me to analyze why. So that was very eye-opening. And here I am 4 years later. So a couple more questions, guys. A couple more questions. Have you ever read C.S. Sloan's articles? I've read every article in every book. That's how old I am. I don't remember a lot about C.S. Sloan, but yeah, I've read everything, but I don't recall it offhand, so I do apologize. Rod says, as far as eating to maximize weight loss, what would you advise people to stay away from? I want you to check out my transformation story, Obese to Beast Steve Shaw. Google Obese to Beast Steve Shaw. You'll find it on tigerfitness.com. For somebody who's trying to eat healthier and change their life, they need to minimize flour. They need to minimize sugar. They need to cut back on carbs, not reduce carbs. We're not going to do a low-carb diet, but we're going to reduce the amount of rice and starches. You're going to drop out macaroni and noodles and stuff like that. You still want to eat some beans. You still want to eat some corn. You still want to eat some peas, but you got to realize those are really high calorie, and you probably just want to really control portions. Beyond that, just stick with a lot of meats, fruits, and vegetables, and some healthy fats. And use the plate rule. Eat a plate of food, and if you're and walk away. And if you're still hungry, come back an hour later and eat again. But yeah, you want to reduce the sugar, flour, and any drinks with calories. Canned and processed foods, boxed food as much as possible. And you want to understand that things like peas and beans and stuff like that have a lot of calories. So if you eat nuts and peas and beans and corn and stuff like that, that you need to eat them in moderation in very small portions so you're not overeating the calories in those foods. Joel says, do you think isolation movements should be mixed in with compounds? Yes, I do, because you can't just go into the gym and do tons and tons of compound movements. As you get stronger, they will beat the snot out of your joints. So I like to go in and hit a muscle group hard and heavy with heavy weight. Then I like to attack it with more volume and rep work. And then I like to finish it off when you're just fatigued with an isolation movement, pump work, because we can joke about pump work, but there is some information that a muscle pump is actually a viable way of building muscle. There is some information. I don't have the studies at hand because I've researched so many, I've edited so many articles, and I've looked at so many studies that I can't even recall the name of these studies anymore. But when I was researching this story for this subject from articles that I wrote, muscle pumps definitely show the ability to add to the hypertrophy, and that can add to even strength as well. So you want to do some kind of isolation work as a finisher. How's it going in the UK? I was wondering if you would recommend deloads in the rep goal system. I hate deloads. I hate deloads. I hate planned deloads. I hate scheduled deloads. I believe most people should never schedule a deload or never plan a deload unless they're going on vacation. What I do when I feel fatigued or when I feel beat up is I just take an extra day off. When I'm sick, I'll take a couple of days off. When I'm tired or fatigued, I'll take a day or two off. If I feel blown up or destroyed or I got a little bit of an injury, I'll just take a few extra days off. I want people to focus on, when it comes to time away from the gym, doing it for a reason. We all need time away from the gym. Sometimes mentally we need it. Sometimes physically we need to recover from an injury. Sometimes we're sick. But take it when your body is telling you to take it. If you can learn to listen to your body, that's one of the most valuable things you can have when you are in the gym over the long run. All right, one more question, guys. I'll take one more question, and then I'm going to hop off because me and Fiona are going to go see the Cincinnati Bearcats play UConn. We got free tickets. I'm not a big University of Cincinnati fan, but I'm a big fan of free stuff. So if I missed your question, guys, you can head over to tigerfitness.com. I try to answer as many questions as possible. I usually include the link below. Before I go, guys, reminder, through the end of Cyber Monday, you can buy my books for only $9.99 at muscleandbrawn.com. Come on over here. Say goodbye.
See you later, sexy, muscly people.
Yeah, see you later, sexy, muscly people. All right, guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, check out the link below. If you've made it this far in this video and you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I appreciate the support. So, guys, as always, thanks for watching.
See ya. Bye.
No, have a great day.
Have a great day.
Love you guys. Thanks for your support.